So tell me more about spontaneous awakening.
Okay, so we speak about a spontaneous awakening of Kundalini when somebody is not doing any modalities or techniques, is not focused on working with that, and then all of a sudden something happens and energy starts to flow. That sounds kind of clean, but usually when the awakening of Kundalini is spontaneous, it's kind of chaotic. A lot of stuff happens at the same time. It can be that people all of a sudden get psychic abilities, see other dimensions, see colors, feel wild energy through the body. Now this happens most often happens when people go through a traumatic experience in life. So it happens often when people have a near-death experience or get very ill or go through a sudden shock like a divorce or somebody dying nearby, where the whole system, their emotional, mental and physical system gets this shock, and they get shocked out of the regular way of living and awaken to this bigger state. Because when, you can see it like this, when we go near death, when the body almost dies, we shift over into another dimension. So that's kind of logical that when somebody has a near-death experience, that all of a sudden they remember again, and their energetic system remembers again that that was part of them too. So it goes beyond the cognitive mind, and that's how it awakens. But when we go through traumatic experiences and shock in our human life, it is a bit like death too. It is a part of our, say you come home and out of the blue your partner says, I want a divorce. It's like your identity dies, like the way you live dies. So that shock can trigger the awakening. Usually when people have a spontaneous awakening, this can also happen, for example, when you meet like a soulmate or a twin flame. I don't really like those concepts too much. They have too much definition, but sometimes people meet another soul, and that will trigger the awakening, and suddenly you remember other lifetimes, and all of that goes on. So usually when this spontaneous awakening happens, there is an intelligence to the energy where people understand that they are guided beyond their cognitive mind. Sometimes it also happens when a lot of chaos is there in the human life, that people just feel like, I'm going a little bit crazy. And they look for help. And I see a lot of people, they get like pills and stuff to tone down those abilities or those feelings or those energies to bring them back to normal humanness. But that's basically what happens when we call it a spontaneous awakening. I have to say that all of us are constantly awakening. Everything you do in your life, even if you're not interested in spirituality, there will constantly be opportunities in your life and experiences in your life that will make you realize more of what you are too. It just depends on whether you can notice it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. So awakening happens always, but when we talk about spontaneous Kundalini awakening, it's usually through shock, boom, all of a sudden it's there and it's on.